5 of the 8 quarters you guys have played this year, you've held teams 25 points or less. What do you like about your team's defense?
I think that the way that we play defense is just collective effort overall. I think it's something that Coach Kidd has stressed since we all got back. And so it's nice to see us holding to those principles.
And you're holding teams with 31% shooting from three-point range. What are you doing to chase them up the three-point line?
Again, just contest, with a high hand. Understand we have help behind us and trust our teammates that they'll have our back. So just doing everything we can to get people off the line.
There hasn't been a Luka Zion matchup since almost 2 full years. I know internally I'm sure that's not the focus, but what do you think that does just from a national perspective early in the season to get eyeballs, on the game and to get eyeballs on what you guys are doing so far?
Oh, I mean, you have 2 of the most exciting young players in the league matched up against each other. Obviously, it's must-see TV. The narratives are going to write themselves, box office, all that. In terms of internally, it's not really a thing because they're not really going to be matched up against each other. I would venture to guess that, Doe, Maxey, JaVale, even myself might be on them more than Luka, you know what I mean? And then I highly doubt that on the flip side, they're probably going to have Herb Jones, Larry Nance, Ingram, those type of guys guarding him. So it's not really a one-on-one thing.
What are the challenges defensively against a Pelicans team that can really score?
Obviously when you look at them, they got 4 people averaging 20 right now or something like that. They've got a jump shooting 5 man. Zion is dynamic. Obviously Ingram and CJ are all-star caliber players. So they got talent across the board.
To your point, Ja Morant was coming up that 49-point game against Houston the other night.
Yeah.
And Ja and Luka was matched up against each other. Do you get a sense that Luka say, hey, I'm going to show you who's the boss here with the 21 points he got in the first quarter?
Well, Luka's a super competitive guy. Again, I don't think that he thinks obviously anybody can check him or anything like that. We have confidence in him to score and make plays with the best of them in the league. As far as Ja, I think it's kind of similar to Zion, right? He's not going to really be matched up against them primarily. They might get switched on to each other. Of course, that happens throughout the flow of the game. But I think his primary matchup to start the game was Bane, maybe? Might have been Bane. Yeah, so it wasn't Ja.
Oh, he didn't play. Desmond?
Bane played.
You're
talking about Dylan Brooks. Yeah, Dylan Brooks.
Play, yeah.
I was about to say, am I tripping right now?
You got to go back and rehash that game plan.
It's 2 games. What do you like best about your start so far?
I think obviously I've shot the ball pretty well and then done my best to make sure that Tim and Seawood are getting shots in the second unit. And as long as they're scoring effectively, then it's just kind of my job to make the right calls and play the chess game the right way. And then if they're not, then be a little bit more aggressive and go make plays myself. So I think it's kind of the way that I see my role right now. And then obviously when I'm with Luka, being ready to spot and shoot.
Follow that up. 2 games. What still needs improvement?
So needs improvement? I think obviously I turned the ball over a little bit in the second game. Just continue to get downhill and touch the paint. There was a couple times I settled for threes. Coach Kidd got on me and said, we need you to touch the paint. And so just having that paint to great mentality and still getting guys like Maxey and everybody shots.
Ingram and Zion got hurt last night. What changes for you guys if they're not able to play tomorrow?
Well, obviously the dynamic of the team changes because you're losing 2 all-star caliber players and 2 big-time pieces for the unit. I venture to guess that CJ will be that much more aggressive, and so we have to come out to see prepared to guard a prime CJ. But we're preparing as if they're going to play. They haven't told me that they're not, so if that changes, then it changes.
What kind of confidence you guys have knowing that you play 2 games? I know it's a small sample size, but you had at least a 22-point lead in each game.
Very, very confident, right? We have to build on the Phoenix game in terms of not giving up that lead.
You guys are second in the league in fewest points allowed. What can you say about the way your defense has played these first 2 games?
It's only 2 games, so it's great. Hopefully we can finish at the end of the season there. There's a lot of things that we're happy about, but there's a couple things we got to work on. So, but it's a good start.
What are you doing to chase teams off the 3-point line? You're only giving up 31% to shoot.
Yeah, well, conscious effort in this league. Today, you see the scores are pretty high. A lot of teams are shooting threes, so we got to guard the 3-point line, and guys are doing that right now.
Curious, Dorian got called for the take foul. the other night. I think it was the first time this year. You like the new rule, and is it because he was almost like trailing the play, and it was still called. I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's the officials, their opinion of it, if it's going to stop the break or take away the advantage. I guess in that case they felt that that's what was taking place. Maybe that's what's led to a lot of the scoring too. Is the take foul isn't being taken, so you're seeing a lot of layups, a lot of open threes, instead of teams being able to set their defense with that take foul. So. We'll see how it goes. Again, it's up to the officials if there's an advantage. And so I thought it was a little questionable, but they called it.
I was going to ask you because the rest of your defense is way back there.
Yeah, but it's a judgment call, so we're not going to challenge any judgment calls.
We're going to challenge Luka in that second play.
Yeah, that was a little too early to bring out the challenge. But there's going to be a time in the season when I might have the challenge, but I just thought it was a little too early.
Zion, what are unique challenges in preparing for a guy that you don't have like fresh, real, legitimate tape on in almost 2 years?
Yeah, well, he's one of before he got hurt, he's one of the best players in the league, and he causes a problem. Being able to play above the rim with his force, offensive rebound. He can put the ball. He can control the offensive end quickly. So we have to box him out and make it tough on him. And then again, transition. We gotta locate him because they will throw the lob to him, and he gets out and he can run just like a guard. So we gotta be conscious of where he's at on the floor.
He's had some particular individual success defending him. What is it about Max's game, either by the rim or just in general, that makes him, I don't want to say like an ideal Zion defender, because I don't know if there is one,
Yeah.
but having had a good track record in that sense?
I think for Maxey, it's about he can guard 1 through 5, and his willingness to guard separates him, and so his ability to move his feet, his strength to get in the way helps. And so again, I don't know if there's a Zion defense, a player who can just play him one-on-one. He's too talented.
Do you have a barometer on what you want to hold teams to? Because 5 out of the 8 quarters you've had them to 25 points or less.
Yeah, I think in the 2 games we've led for 93 minutes of the 96. So I think we got it. We've gotten off to good starts. It's early. Understanding one game has led to another. Having a lead and playing with the lead in game 2. We continued, to score in that third, and we actually didn't lose that quarter. We tied that quarter. I think, we won. But it's about being able to play with a lead, and then somewhere in the season we're going to have to learn how to play from behind. It just happens that way. So we'll see. It's early. It's very, very early. So these are all good questions after 10 or 15 games.
Yeah, Zion and Ingram both got hurt last night. What changes for you guys if they're not able to play?
We're preparing for them to be playing. So until we're told otherwise, our game plan is with those 2 out there.
They can really score. What challenges do they present you defensively?
Yeah, they're a team that can score the ball. You saw last night, I think, over 120. And then in New York, I think they put up 135. So when you look at CJ, understand that he can shoot the 3, he can get to the rim, he can shoot the midi. Ingram is another guy, to the rim, shoots the 3, and also shoots the midi well. Zion now being able to control the paint, and then Valanciunas in the paint. He can control the paint posting up. So they got a lot of guys who can put the ball in the basket. So our defense isn't going to just be one-on-one. Our team defense is going to be tested.
You got a tough schedule coming out of the gate. 2 you just played, and the next 2 on the road.
Yeah, the 6 games that we have here in this month are tough. And so this is a good test early, and hopefully we can be a positive in the month.
A lot of Argentinian followers that have been asking for a Facu update. Do you have any sense of what his availability is?
Yeah, he's cleared to play, so we'll see. Hopefully we get him in tomorrow.
It's going to be a country that's very excited to hear that.
That's awesome. As long as we can make that country happy. That's what we do. So yeah, he'll participate tomorrow.
How about Frank and the other guys there?
Frank didn't participate today, so we don't know. We'll see how he feels tomorrow.
All right.
Thanks,
Appreciate it,
Thanks,
Jason.
thank you guys. Thank you.